Chronic Beats. Chronic Beats.
Good morning. Welcome to AVNewsCast.com.
Good morning.
No.
I don't even know what all of that is. Hey, you guys, it's Monday.
Yes.
The number one news talk radio program in the Antelope Valley. Elections are tomorrow.
I wonder if they have butterflies in their stomachs tonight.
It must, because you know what? I do.
Yeah.
I'm having I'm not sleeping well.
Really?
I'm telling you know,
I haven't let it
I'm
affect
not,
my
because
sleep.
there's a lot of anxiousness and you know, there is. And there's been a lot of stuff going on in this campaign, some of which I don't appreciate at all.
Yeah, well, I'm sure most people don't appreciate
But
it.
that's campaigning, I guess. Okay? I mean,
It shouldn't be acceptable.
Running for public office is not for the thin-skinned
Nope.
at all. And everybody that's running for public office, I really, I commend everybody for saying, hey, I'm willing to do this. Take a pot
It's
shot
a
at
lot
me.
of work.
It's
a lot of work.
But did you think running for public office meant make up a bunch of lies about me?
No.
Okay? I don't like that.
I don't either.
I don't like what happened.
I think that it's hard enough. The job is hard enough to deal with it the way it is.
Please return to base.
Okay.
So that's just amazing.
You're not going to 203. Hello. Martha,
hey Jeff,
we need you.
can you do me a favor?
Please return
No, we're
to
gonna
base.
take care of that right now.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Okay?
Martha,
Yeah.
And I'm saying
return to
it,
base.
you know what?
We need you.
Please, okay? You know what? That's beyond making me upset. Okay? That's just stupid.
Yeah.
Okay? Are you taking care of that?
Yeah, I sure am.
I hope Marty
With a
gets
lot
back.
of adjectives.
Yeah, that's just unreal.
Yeah.
So...
Don't they have walkie-talkies?
Yeah, I don't know. The lies, the pot shots that were taken against Senator Steve Knight,
Yeah.
who's running for Congress, that's out of control.
Yes.
I
I don't think that's within Lee Rogers' character.
No, I'm.
Just saying.
If I had to bet a quarter, I would bet a quarter that is coming from the Strickland camp, because insecurity and take pot shots because there's right.
But it's just so wrong, and that's the thing. It's like, I want to know who's saying these things. I want to know so that I could say I'm definitely not voting for you. Because for you to take those kind of pot shots at people unwarranted, it's just nasty.
And if you're going to do that, then put your name on the mailer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Stand
up.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
You paid for them.
Right. Instead of hiding behind something.
Yeah, exactly. Just say endorsed by or approved by blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Because you're saying that that's the case. You think that this is the truth, so you should totally put your name.
Yeah. I absolutely 100% agree.
Yeah.
Because I think that's just chicken crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you almost did it. You can
Well,
do it,
I was going to do it.
and you can't even get fined.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
No, it's not right at all.
There was a poll in yesterday's AV Press. Okay. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see it. I don't know if you even put much credence. I don't.
Well, AV Press is a Republican paper, right?
Yeah, they go to the right.
So, I mean, I it might be skewed. It's like, maybe it's reading Fox Network.
No, it's I don't put a lot of credence in that.
Why? What did it say?
No, it was just a poll. Pick your candidate. Which candidate are you for?
Oh, well, I get that, and whoever reads it will pick their. Yeah, I get that. And what was it? What was the layout?
What was the layout? Well, one of the things was J.D. Kennedy and Tom Lackey. Mm-hmm. And in that poll, it Well, here's the thing, okay?
You're not going to tell us?
Yeah, I am going to tell you, but let me set it up, okay? Okay? Because before the poll happened, okay, J.D. Kennedy had sent out a bunch of tweets, a bunch of text messages to a lot of people. Hey, vote for me.
Yeah.
Okay? So that skewed the whole thing. Okay?
So what you're saying is that J.D. came in on top?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Way ahead. Okay? Does the poll mean anything? If you ask me, no, I don't think so. Okay? I really don't think so. But it's interesting watching how each person is positioning their campaign. Okay? It is interesting to watch. You know, we had Kermit on the show the other day, and he was trying to take pot shots at Assemblyman Steve Fox.
And that's what they do.
Which, saying that he doesn't write his bills. And
no, he didn't say that. He said, the question was, what do you do, or what do you think that you can bring that's different than Fox? And he said, I can write my own bills. Fox doesn't. So he wasn't really taking a shot at him not doing it, because that's common that they don't write it themselves. He was just saying that he could write his own. So that's where he was saying, I'm different. I don't think that the statement wasn't made to say, you know, he's less than because he can or he doesn't. He was just saying, I can.
Yeah, but just to be clear, though, the Office of Legislative Counsel writes all the bills. For everybody. Okay?
Okay.
Just so everybody knows that. Okay.
So this is the reality. What I just said, you weren't paying any attention to.
I don't know.
Yeah. Because I said that.
Because I'm a one-trick pony. I can only do one thing.
He was like, whatever, Angelina's talking, let me make my next point.
I can only do one thing at a time. After our 8:15 break, we're going to reach out and get Tom Lackey, Palmdale's Mayor Pro Tem, and also a candidate running for the 36th Assembly District seat.
You know, it's just so funny that this whole thing, because, you know, before probably 2008, or probably I don't know. I just was never that interested or I never paid that much attention to the guys that were running, and I pay attention now, and I pay strict attention now. And I'm like, this is just like a popularity contest, because, you know, when you put down on paper the qualifications or the things that you might, you know, contribute towards qualifications, it's really cut and dry who should be up there.
True.
It really is. Because either you have the background, either you have something that says that you contributed to the community, you did this in the community, you did that, you worked on this board. I mean, either you do or you don't. And for me, it's very clear.
We asked
who should be the top runners, at least.
We asked a lot of the candidates.
Yeah.
Last week when we had them on.
Yeah.
What makes you different than the other other four? You know, we did do that. And people identify. Yesterday, on Sunday morning, Paul and I were both at Abidak, and there were a lot of people in store, and I was polling people. Okay. And the poll I got was far different than the AV Press, but it's interesting how some of them I actually had to push to get out and vote. I had to really push it, and their excuse is, albeit valid or not, is, look, I work in L.A. Okay, I leave at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't get home until 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Okay. Some people said, you know what, whether I vote or not,
it's not going to make a difference.
Sacramento's on autopilot.
Yeah.
I said, well, if you want to change that, if you want to turn off autopilot, then you've got to participate.
Yeah, okay? Yeah. I mean, we always say the same things, but the reality is it really going to make a difference in our lives? And then the other scary part is, you know, I'll talk to some of the candidates and I'll say, okay, so when you win, are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? And they'll say, nope. And then you see this whole look of arrogance that comes over, like, I'm going to run it the way I want to run it. And, you know, everything's out the window the minute you let me in that door. And that gets kind of scary. It's like, holy crap.
Because you think they can get bought from special interest?
Oh, not only can they get bought, but the other thing is they're going to care less about what you feel or what you want done. You know, there's some, and I'm not going to down Talkie today because it's too close. But there's some people that are running that are like, when I get up there, it's going to be all about what I think.
I get that. I understand that.
And all about what I want to do. I've asked some candidates, are you going to hire both parties so that at least you could have your ear on the ground to what you might not be cognitive of? Some are going like, nope, doesn't work. I'm just going to hire what I want to hire, people that talk like me, look like me, do like me. And the reality is that you're representing everybody. And that's scary.
At the end of the day, when you get elected, your district is made up of the red team and the blue team and the green team and everything, okay?
And some of them are like, oh, well.
I know. I understand that.
And that's like, holy crap. You're scary.
Somebody posted on Facebook last night, hey, if this candidate, and the candidate was J.D. Kennedy, is this a candidate that can tear down the cactus curtain between Palmdale and Lancaster?
Come on now, stop playing.
And he got beat up. Okay? He got beat up because people immediately, and we've talked about this on the show at the very beginning, people immediately took to J.D. Kennedy's DUI problem. Okay? I did a little research last night. Did a little research. Went on to Wikipedia. And I wanted to see how many elected officials have been convicted, okay, of, not just DUI, but I don't care, everything. Wire fraud, bank fraud. Okay. They actually have a list there. They break it down by state. Okay. There's from California to New York and every state in between. Okay. That's nothing new. All right.
But that's amazing to me.
Okay. But
to me, it's like, okay, I'm not going to run because I had a DUI, and I shouldn't, because I made poor judgment in my past, I shouldn't be trying to represent my community.
We're gonna
right, and I get what you're saying.
That's what I was saying.
Going to use ethics as a qualification.
No,
for a
I don't know.
Maybe it's going to be empty. Tumbleweeds blowing through Sacramento.
No, and I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. Okay, and people make mistakes and bad things happen to good people. I get all that. Okay, but people got very upset over that last night. And
Wait, did they get upset because people were judging him because of it, or because he had them?
They were judging him because of it.
Wow.
And then there were people that said, "Hey, well, I just," and I think he talked about it on the first time he was on our show. Actually, yeah, and he was open about it. He's been open about that.
You can't not
to everybody. You have to be.
Yeah, because come on now.
You have to be.
You got to get in front of it.
I'll tell you though, looking at this long list that they had on Wikipedia, DUI was a minimal thing compared to all these other local electeds. I will say that. Okay, there's no question about it. Somebody else posted something last night on Facebook, and this has come up many times. That hey, wait a minute, J.D. Kennedy and maybe Suzette haven't even resided within the district for a year, per the Constitution of California. Okay. So now, just a second. Okay. That could, at this time frame, and I don't know if it is or is not correct, but let's just say as of today it's correct, okay? You have to really read Article 4, Section 2C, okay? Because what it says is, and it does say that the person is ineligible to be a member of the legislature unless the person is, one, elected and has been a resident in the legislative district for 1 year, and a citizen of the United States, and a resident of California 3 years, okay? And then all of that is immediately preceding the election, okay? So that 1 year period, okay, actually is effective up to November. All right?
Yeah, so it ticks
So
back
it may not be applicable today,
Right.
okay? But it may be in November, okay?
So, yeah.
But what I have seen, and this is really interesting, what I have seen, at the end of the day, one person's going to Washington, one person's going up to the California State Assembly, all right? And there's 12 people left down here, okay? When the dust settles, okay, these 12 people still need to be able to integrate themselves into the community. And not only them, but the other people that are really pushing for them, because there's some nasty stuff out there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well,
and people are really
nasty.
drawing lines in the sand.
Yeah.
All right? And I think that's a big mistake. Okay? Because you alienate other people, and it's an issue. It's a problem.
Well, listen, this is the thing. I appreciate people saying this is who I'm for, but I could still be your friend. I could still be friendly with everybody that's running, but this is who talks to me. And I commend anyone and everyone that can do that. I don't feel comfortable when listen, I guess you don't have to speak on who speaks to you. You don't have to be vocal about it. It is a personal thing. So either you keep your opinions to yourself and you're friendly with everyone, or you say this is who I back and you know what, you're a cool person, whatever, but your politics are just not mine. And that's how I live. I don't think I'm drawing a sand and I don't think I'm drawing a line in the sand.
No, you're not. And that's a mature way to handle it.
And I think that everybody should be. I mean, I'm not calling nobody out and being dirty about it.
And people are.
Yeah.
And
they don't. Dumb. They shouldn't be. That's stupid.
Well, this is like this election. This is like a Super Bowl, okay? And you're voting. You got two teams in there, and you're very passionate. Okay? I'm
passionate too.
Okay,
but I'm respectful.
I understand.
I think people should just be respectful with it, and who's talking to you talks to you, and
And if you think this is bad, wait until the gates open and the ponies are running and we're heading toward the general election.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because then it's going to be a whole different deal. I think we should take a break.
Yeah.
Can we take a break, Jeff?
We certainly can.
Let's take a break. You're listening to AVNewsCast, the #1 news talk radio program in the Antelope Valley and beyond, and we'll be back in just a minute.
Dr. Lee Rogers.
We need to end the bickering, the partisan politics, and the gridlock in Washington.
Lee Rogers is a doctor who solves real problems for a living. Lee Rogers will put Washington to work for middle-class families by closing tax loopholes for Wall Street banks, rebuild our infrastructure, and protect Medicare and Social Security. Lee Rogers, doing what's right for our families.
I'm Lee Rogers, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Lee Rogers for Congress.
Hi, I'm J.D. Kennedy, a Marine Corps veteran with 3 deployments to Iraq, and I'm running for State Assembly. I served as Congressman McKean's Veteran Affairs Representative, and I'm a member of Operation All the Way Home, board member of the Boys and Girls Club, and I'm the president of LA County Air Show. As your Assemblyman, I'll fight to create jobs in our community and to keep criminals off our streets. Our problems can be fixed with simple common sense answers, but we need new leadership in Sacramento. My name is J.D. Kennedy. I fought for you 3 times in Iraq. Vote for me on June 3rd. Send me to Sacramento. I'll fight for you there. Visit my website, kennedyforassembly.com, and follow me on Facebook.
Hello, I'm Tom Lackey, your experienced conservative candidate for the State Assembly in the Tuesday, June 3rd election. As a retired Highway Patrol Sergeant and Antelope Valley resident since 1996, I served as a school board and city council member for 14 years. As your Assembly representative, I'll stand up for our shared values. The record shows I work to solve problems, not create them. With your help on June 3rd, we can break the far-left supermajority in Sacramento and stop the bleeding of our jobs. I'm Tom Lackey, your experienced candidate.
There's a school in Palmdale that's become the talk of the town. It's called the Guidance Charter School, and many parents say it's magical. The Guidance Charter School is WASP accredited, scored 783 in academic performance, and has an educational curriculum that exceeds the state of California standards. The curriculum is enriched through age-appropriate exposure to information technology, arts, foreign language such as Arabic, and physical education. The Guidance Charter School has a winning CIF sports program with soccer, basketball, cross-country, volleyball, swimming, cheerleading, and more. An open enrollment, free tuition school, publicly funded. They've been in business for 12 years and are fully approved by the Palmdale School District. The Guidance Charter School has small classroom environment, 20 students in grades K through 3, 25 students in grades 4 through 8, and no more than 30 students in grades 9 through 12. Call the Guidance Charter School in Palmdale at 661-285-1600. That's the Guidance Charter School in Palmdale at 661-285-1600. And check out their website at thegcs.org. A better high school choice.
Antelope Valley residents, this is Assistant Sheriff James Helmold seeking your vote for sheriff. As a 25-year veteran of the department, I'm not a politician. I'm a crime fighter committed to keeping our neighborhood safe. I will ensure your sheriff's department is responsive to the Antelope Valley, not a one-size-fits-all approach from downtown Los Angeles. Let's also expand community involvement and youth outreach to ensure future success. I'm proud to be endorsed by both mayors and councils, local churches, and community groups. This is your sheriff's department. Please vote James Helmold for sheriff.
This is Palmdale Mayor Jim Ledford, and we have a great opportunity on June 3rd. We will be electing a new congressman for our valley. I served on the Palmdale City Council with Steve Knight, as well as serving with his father, Pete Knight, and I appreciate their service and belief in our community. Steve is a veteran of the U.S. Army, as well as an 18-year veteran of the LAPD, and I have the highest respect for our vet and law enforcement community. Steve has led by action over his tenure in Sacramento, and no one has authored more legislation for our veterans. As the son of a career Marine, I'm thankful for Steve's commitment to our veterans. Please join Mayor Pro Tem Tom Lackey and I in supporting Steve Knight for Congress.
Welcome back to AVNewsCast.com.
All right, so let's see if we can get Mr. Lackey on the line, huh?
Yeah.
Is that okay, Steve?
Yes, ma'am. It is okay. You say I'm a control freak, huh?
Yes. Oh, my God. The listeners only knew.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Mr. Lackey.
Hello.
Good morning, Tom.
Can you hear
Are you
us?
there?
Yeah,
Yes,
we're here.
yes.
Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yes.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well.
I have to say, as we're driving around town, my son gets so excited when he sees a Tom Lackey sign. He starts bouncing in his seat. Dad, look, Tom Lackey.
Well, that's nice. He can't vote, though.
I know.
Will you give your son a high five for me? Yeah.
I will.
Hey, Tom, have you got anxiety yet? We're 24 hours away from the election.
I don't know. I characterize it as anxiety, but yeah, I'll be happy when it's over.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep last night. Not at all. I understand you're going to be walking precincts this morning?
I'm preparing. I had to run some other errands this morning, but we will be walking precincts today and tomorrow.
Okay. Tom, with the people that are listening right now, and we've talked about this before, you've got a red team and a blue team, you know, and people are going to vote for who they vote for. But at the end of the day, though, we send one representative up there to represent all of the people, right? We've asked a lot of the other candidates, so let me ask you this question. You can work with both sides to get things done and make the Antelope Valley a better place to be?
Well, of course. I mean, I've had the privilege of being in a nonpartisan leadership position since 1999, and I understand really how to accomplish a mission when we have a topic that we're addressing. The partisanship should be able to take rest, and you focus on the actual need that you're addressing. And you focus on the common ground and go from there, and it can be done.
Yeah.
What, Tom, there's 3 Republicans running. In the California's new primary election law, top 2, doesn't make any difference in party, go. What separates you from the other 2 Republicans?
I'm sorry, you broke up. I couldn't understand that last part of the question of the other 2 Republicans.
What separates you from the other 2 Republicans?
Oh, it's very clear. It's experience and experience in leadership and investment in the community. I've lived here since I grew up out here, and then I came back to raise my family in 1995, and I've been involved in community events and community leadership since that time. And the other candidates have just joined us out here, and they're new to the area.
Go ahead.
What is your feeling about the Tea Party rescinding their backing, Tom? How did you feel about that? Or what's your take on that, actually?
Or do you care?
Well, of course, there's disappointment, and anytime someone reverses their decision, but you know what? They have the right to do whatever they feel compelled to do. And this election, I will tell you, goes way beyond a group of people voicing their support or objection to somebody. As I've been walking precincts, I've noticed a marked difference between this time and my last time when I ran 2 years ago.
people who I am. And I have seen overwhelming support for my candidacy, because I'm also walking for Steve Knight. And there's a big difference, and I'm feeling very, very gratified by the feedback I'm getting. And those are the kinds of feedback that really matter in an election.
Yeah, agreed 100%. Tom, the Antelope Valley, obviously, it's people scream about jobs, they scream about the economy. Every candidate's talking about the same thing. Talk to me about your experience when it comes to bringing business to the Antelope Valley.
Yeah, well, of course everybody is screaming about jobs, because I think they should be screaming at government this time, because government in large part is a big impediment. And instead it should be a supporter, and it should be creating an environment where business is welcome and invited and supported. And unfortunately, one of the things government has gotten into the business of trying to control and try to overburden the business. And that's really, quite simply, the problem that's created here in our state. And there is a fix that can be administered rather rapidly if the right intentions are spoken and enforced. And I'm telling you, I think after the election, I listened to your show earlier, and they said that a lot of the candidates aren't able to have such a great impact. I will tell you right now, the condition that exists in Sacramento, this supermajority is very, very in balance, barely taking place. And we get this seat back, we're going to erode that supermajority, and so we have a more blended, more common sense approach to our business problems and our employment issue.
Did you get a lot of that, Angelina?
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, help me, because I didn't. No, I'm serious.
Are you serious? You didn't hear
what
I said?
Come on. I missed half of what you said, Tom, because I couldn't hear it.
Tom, he's a mess. I think he was playing with something, or
no.
I don't know what he was doing. I think that's a legitimate response to that question, though.
You're saying there's too much government?
Yeah.
I agree 100%. There is too much government. And it's interesting, Tom, because last week we were saying that, it's really not about red team and blue team. It's about just sending somebody up to Sacramento to do a job for everybody down here in the Antelope Valley in the 36th district. It's the problems that we have are not partisan problems.
They're not. And they're not about your moral compass. It's not. It really
It is about your moral compass.
In the sense that, what I mean is that everybody needs a job. Everybody wants a quality education. Everybody wants to live in a secure area. That crosses all party lines.
Right.
So it's not about that. It's about...
We get that stuff covered and then...
Well, that's the common ground that I'm talking about that you build from. We all do share some common ground. But how to get to the finish line is where the division starts to become evident. And where, unfortunately, sometimes partisan blur gets in the way, and, we're unable to reach the destination that everybody deserves. And one thing that I believe was really important, too, is leadership style. Some leaders believe that their interests dominate as opposed to the collective good of the district. The collective good of the district has to be what drives your decision-making. And I think I have a history that shows that that's what drives my decision-making. It isn't to make me look good. It's whatever I think is in the best interest of the group. And some people find that very difficult to accomplish. And I think that, in all due respect to our current assemblyman, I think he worries too much about his image and what may benefit or hurt him instead of focusing on the district at large. And it's just a different way of looking at things.
Mm-hmm. Well, everybody's going to go up in that seat with their own personality and their own moral compass, like we mentioned before. But the bottom line is that I think that across every table, someone's going to want them to represent every single person, and
that's impossible to actually accomplish and please every single person when you have a divisive issue. You have to know. And you have to be willing to face people at times and say, you know what, we disagree on this matter. But you have to be able to explain why. Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of public officials are uncomfortable with that, and I'm not.
Got it.
Yeah, no, it is. And it's difficult. It's difficult to look at people and say, hey, I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay, but
no one likes that. No one. Yeah. And if you're a human that cares, you're uncomfortable telling delivering uncomfortable news or news that disappoints. It goes against, representing people, and it's just an uncomfortable position. And I think law enforcement experience gives you the tools, if you use them properly, to know how to share that message. No one wants to be told that, hey, I'm taking enforcement action against you because you were doing A, B, and C.
Yeah.
There's a way to do that professionally. There's a way to do that with most people without being nasty. And so I think there is a corollary there.
Yeah. Safety is a big issue, Tom, and I'm going to let you go after this question, but safety is a big issue in the Antelope Valley. Having a law enforcement background, you think that'll help when it comes to making the residents of the Antelope Valley safe?
Oh, it's not only in the Antelope Valley, but I think that government's primary role, and I would extend this also to the federal government, its primary role is to provide a safe environment for all of us.
Well, they're failing.
And that extends at the local, the state, and the federal level. And I think that my service should dictate exactly where I stand on public safety. I really do think it's important, and I think that sometimes political correctness helps the wrong energy and supports the wrong perspective. It's too sympathetic to offenders. And this situation that we're facing right now with this placement of this fella who is a monster is an example of taking the wrong perspective. They're not looking at the perspective of victims that this guy created. They're not really sympathetic to those of us who may become victims again.
Right.
At least not to the level we deserve, in my opinion. And sometimes we need to refocus where we're going as a leadership group. Come on, this is really, it's absurd what's happening. Absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And it's absurd that Judge Brown didn't consider all the victims, the 40-some women that were raped, okay? And it could have even been more. Or, sending this guy to the Antelope Valley where he has no ties here.
Yeah.
But the judge didn't care because he's retiring.
And put him just down the street from somebody who was a rape victim. Now she's got to deal with that.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of neighbors out there to come to her aid.
Yeah, it does suck.
Terrible.
Hey, Tom, I know you got stuff to do. I just want to thank you. I wish you the best of luck, and thanks for taking the time to come on the show.
Hey, it's my pleasure, and thank you for communicating with the public. We need to hear what you have to say, and it's great fun. I listen to you every morning.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.
Okay,
have a great day.
We'll talk tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Tomorrow we're going to reach out to, and hopefully we'll get every candidate on the show.
Yes.
Or as many as we can.
Yeah.
Give them a couple of minutes to talk, to say whatever they want to say. I'm going to be glad.
That it's over?
I am.
I like it. I like having these conversations. And, although Tom is a Republican and the principles behind the party itself, although they're vague, to me.
Vague. Listen to this.
To me, I appreciate the fact that he's cognitive of his potential position. I absolutely do. And, because I just feel like there's so much arrogance, and I'm not saying that there's not arrogance in the Democratic Party, because I think you got to have a level of arrogance to run in the first place. But he just seems like somebody that would take into consideration all sides. He's not going to, compromise what he believes, but he would take the time to say, listen, this is why I don't agree. And this is why I think that this is a better option to do X, Y, and Z. Absolutely, I think that. And absolutely do I think that he would be the person that would give those people in that party a run for their money by means of, no, you better do this. Tom would be the one that would say, look, I don't see it that way. I understand that you've got checkbooks behind you, but this is how I see it. I absolutely think that he would stand up to that.
Well, he's, in all the years we've been doing this show, he's been on the show, I can't tell you how many dozens of times, right? And very often we'll have conversations with him before the show or off the air. And sometimes, even if you don't agree.
Oh, I've talked to him and didn't agree.
Right.
But I appreciated the way he spoke to me about it. And the thing
and
is,
he explained his position.
and that's what's important to me. Don't just say the crow flies to the west and just say that's just what it is. Tell me what it is. Tell me why you feel that way. And he will do that. He'll say, this is why I feel like this. And he'll ask me, Angelina, well, what are you concerned with? And I'll say, I'm concerned with X, Y, and Z. Okay, I understand that viewpoint. I see your point. But even to get your viewpoint to the next level, I think that this is the right way. I mean, and I appreciate it. As opposed to, nope.
Doesn't jump over it and
and I don't care. I guess if you guys lose, you're going to just be screwed. And that's what I hear from other people. You know what I didn't ask him?
Though. I've heard it on both sides, though.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, you could hear it on both sides. Absolutely.
You asked a question, like Tom just said, it's experience, okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Having been on not just the school board, but a city council member for a number of years. And
in the community
then the vice mayor. And it's experience. You said the same thing to, you asked Steve Fox the other day, being an attorney, does that help you? Mm-hmm. Which obviously it must as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no question about it.
Yeah.
And, Steve Fox was a Republican.
Yeah.
Okay? And
he saw the light.
He saw that switching and becoming a Democrat, okay, would make it easier for him to get elected.
No.
Okay.
I don't think that that's what he would say is the reason why why would you put those kind of words in somebody's mouth?
Well, he kind of said that on the show.
Did he say that on the show? Did he say that? Did he say that?
I believe he did.
I don't think he did.
Okay.
He didn't say, I just changed to a Democrat so that I could be elected. Come on now.
It wasn't in those words. And
so then why would you put that in? Why would you do that? That was so mean.
Similar. Okay.
That was so mean.
Look, but wait a second.
I hope he's listening.
I know they are, and I don't disagree with that. Okay?
But he didn't say that.
Okay, what did he say?
He didn't say that because I would have remembered that.
Because you weren't paying attention.
Oh, I pay attention. You're the one that doesn't pay attention.
Oh,
you were like, what did Tom just say? You don't pay attention.
We had Steve on. When was Steve on the show? Just the other day. What was it? Wednesday?
I hope someone's checking you right now.
Yeah, someone's checking me, okay? And the comment I just got from the chat room was, that's exactly what he said.
No. And who's that come from? JD?
No, and why would you even say that? Okay?
Yeah, you got to consider the source.
It was, well, remember, okay, a Democrat has held this seat for, 34 years?
Uh-huh.
Okay? So, obviously, it would make it easier, okay?
Just
if you could be a Democrat and the top Democrat. I'm not making assumptions. Don't argue with me. That's what he said.
In the mouth.
Okay.
He's a Democrat because he believes in the party and the principles. Because, that would say a whole lot about the man if that's the case.
You know what? Plug this phone in.
Yeah.
Okay? Hang on just 1 second. Let's take this live. Are you with me? Hey, Chuck.
Hey, Chuck.
Yeah.
Chuck.
Hey, thanks for calling in.
Sure. Hey, you gotta consider the source.
Are you the source, Chuck?
Was I right or was I right?
Yeah, you gotta consider the source. Obviously, she's focused only on her focus.
Oh.
I couldn't hear him.
That's exactly what he said. Couldn't get anywhere in the Republican Party. There's so many that didn't like. And the political parties in this valley have their people. Steve Fox couldn't get anywhere. He went back over to the Democratic Party because he knew he could get elected. And there he served his people best, and that's exactly what he said.
Yeah, thank you. I agree.
I would have to, Mr. Fox would have to say that.
Thanks, Chuck. Have a great day. Thanks for listening, too. And you could play it back. And let me explain. What do you keep doing with that?
It's good to have him on because then you can hear if you're getting off mic, too.
Yeah, I am getting off mic.
No, I'm not talking to you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Saying that is not a bad thing. Yeah. It's not bad.
Okay.
No, it isn't a bad thing. Yeah, I mean, it was a smart move. Mm-hmm. There's no question about it. Okay? And, at the end of the day, Steve Fox has been up in Sacramento now for almost 2 years. Okay?
Right. Mm-hmm.
He represents, he represents everybody in the Antelope Valley because whoever goes has to.
2 years is not enough time. It really isn't.
You're probably right. It probably isn't enough time.
It's not enough time.
Okay.
The first year, you're a deer in headlights. What do I do? Where do I go? You barely know where the bathroom is for the first 3 months.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm saying
for 2 years is like it's nothing. It should at least be 4 years.
I will say he got quite a bit done in his first year. Okay?
I'm not saying that he didn't.
I will say
I'm just saying that there's still a learning curve that you have to deal with. You got to get your staff up. I mean, it's just too short to me. I don't know why 2 years is what it is.
State Assembly is 2 years. State Senate is 4 years.
Yeah, it should be 4.
Okay. Well, maybe
it
so,
is
but
what
it's
it
not.
is, but I'm just saying. Yeah.
Maybe so, but it's not. But that is what Steve Fox said, and we'll get him on the show tomorrow for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
He is going to be. He's either in town or flying into town.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know that the Speaker of the House, Speaker of the Assembly, will be in the Antelope Valley tomorrow.
Nice.
Okay. I think actually working his phone banking.
Wow.
Okay. Obviously, Sacramento sees that they want to try to hold on to this seat.
Absolutely, they should.
All right.
Yeah.
So they're doing whatever they can.
Mm-hmm.
But really, you're going to see the major push from both sides.
Right after.
After the general election.
Yeah.
You will see it. Okay.
Yeah. But, you would think that since the Democrats want to keep the seat, the push should be from the beginning all the way, the whole stretch. To me, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to start pushing after it.
Well, I don't
think you want to make sure you keep it from the beginning to the end, because it could be 2 Republicans that are running after the primary.
If I was a betting man, I'll say it ain't going to happen.
No, I understand, but I'm just saying, why run the risk? Like, just go hard with them from the beginning.
There's a lot of calculated risks here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They've got a lot of people doing a lot of stuff, figuring out a lot of things.
Yeah,
okay?
and I'm making assumptions, and I think I know
but
what I'm
you
talking
are
about.
Right.
And I have no clue. No. I will say I have no clue, because you really don't know until you're walking the walk and you're in there and you understand all the dynamics. You really don't know.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying, and if I was running for elected office,
Mm-hmm.
I would be all in.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I spoke to Lee Rogers a couple of weeks ago, and
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about this stockpile of money, $650,000 that he's raised, okay, for his campaign right now.
Yeah.
And he is all in with all $650,000 just to get to the primary.
And then what?
Then there's, what? Then, once you're that person going to the general,
then
you got money. Money is pouring in.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Money will be pouring in.
Okay.
But he is pushing, he didn't lose by much in 2012 to Buck McKeon,
Mm-hmm.
okay, coming from nowhere. Now he's got some name recognition,
Mm-hmm.
and he wants to be sure that he's one of those 2 people.
Now,
okay?
but J.D. was working for Buck, right?
J.D. Kennedy was working for Buck.
Is he backing him?
No, Buck McKeon has endorsed Tom Lackey. In fact, I was at that dinner.
What is that?
Okay. I was at that dinner. It was a dinner for the Antelope Valley Boys and Girls Club,
Mm-hmm.
actually, where Tyler was nominated for something. And anyway, it was actually at that dinner that Buck McKeon pledged his endorsement to Tom Lackey.
Now, did he work
and JD
personally?
was with Buck and Tom.
Wow.
When that was when.
Well,
Buck
that
McKeon,
tells
okay.
a little something too.
It does, but J.D. Kennedy wasn't in the race at the time either, though.
Oh, okay.
I will mention that. Okay.
But he didn't switch.
No.
He didn't do a Tea Party.
No, he did not. No.
And I'm sure JD must have told him, I'm going to run. I mean, you don't, hey, boss man, I want to run something by you.
You would think. I don't know. I don't know.
So
and you talk about that switching and the Tea Party thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What?
I don't see it as,
a big deal?
I don't. It's okay. That's 12 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see it as a big deal.
Yeah, because in the paper it was like, for the first time ever, they had an emergency. I'm like, the first time ever? They've been up and running for 9 years.
Yeah, but
9 months.
And then there were, little ads. People in the Antelope Valley and people in the 36th Assembly District, we're smart people, okay? Propaganda doesn't work really well. Although, I will say, it depends.
Yeah.
It depends on the propaganda.
Yeah, it
okay?
does.
It killed Jonathan Irvin,
Yeah.
okay? That he couldn't recover from.
Yeah.
Although he won at the precincts, it killed him. But and people play on that.
It's terrible.
All right?
They play on people's insecurities.
And
what you don't know, they play on. And that's a shame.
And people like to be on a winning team, so they go, oh, it looks like a lot of people are voting for this guy.
Yes.
I'm going to go vote
Yes.
for this guy.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're doing.
No. It's a
they
shame.
have no
it's
idea.
a shame.
Wherever I go, I'm asking people, though, are you going to vote? Will you be voting? Not a lot of people are going to be voting.
Well,
They're
we
indifferent.
see it
They're on
consistently.
autopilot.
We see it consistently.
Okay. Yeah, and
At least do the mail-in. If you don't have time to go, just do the mail-in.
There were 2 people yesterday that were at Abedac. They had already done their mail-in.
Good.
Okay.
Did they tell you who they voted for?
Perhaps. I'm not going to say.
Why not?
Because.
I don't know who it is. I don't know who the person is.
I know. Anyway.
Jesus. Steve is a
moving
mess.
Anyway, yeah, but a lot of the people I had to push to vote, and it was still like, well, I'll see.
Yeah,
maybe.
because they can make all the promises in the world and not go tomorrow.
But what you need to do, if you live here in the Antelope Valley, you need to get out and vote.
Yeah.
I don't. You know what? If you're listening to our show and you're in New York, okay, whenever there's an election, wherever it is, you need to vote.
Yeah.
You need to express your opinion.
Yeah.
Okay? And your beliefs, and the way to do that is to vote for a candidate that you think will best represent your needs.
Absolutely.
If you're not happy with what's going on, then you need to vote to change it.
Yeah.
If you're happy with what's going on, then you need to vote to keep that person.
Yeah.
But you can't just sit home.
Nope.
Okay?
Nope. We say it all the time. Listen, I wanted to know what was your take on the release of the last POW in Afghanistan by the Taliban.
And I really want to talk about that.
Uh-huh.
I really do. Let's take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that as soon as we come back. You're listening to AV Newscast on News Talk Radio on the Spreaker Radio Network, and we'll be right back.
Frolic Beats.
Dr. Lee Rogers.
We need to end the bickering, the partisan politics, and the gridlock in Washington.
Lee Rogers is a doctor who solves real problems for a living. Lee Rogers will put Washington to work for middle-class families by closing tax loopholes for Wall Street banks, rebuild our infrastructure, and protect Medicare and Social Security. Lee Rogers, doing what's right for our families.
I'm Lee Rogers, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Lee Rogers for Congress.
Hi, I'm J.D. Kennedy, a Marine Corps veteran with 3 deployments to Iraq, and I'm running for state assembly. I served as Congressman McKeon's Veteran Affairs Representative, and I'm a member of Operation All the Way Home, board member of the Boys and Girls Club, and I'm the president of LA County Air Show. As your assemblyman, I'll fight to create jobs in our community and keep criminals off our streets. Our problems can be fixed with simple, common sense answers, but we need new leadership in Sacramento. My name is J.D. Kennedy. I fought for you 3 times in Iraq. Vote for me on June 3rd. Send me to Sacramento. I'll fight for you there. Visit my website, kennedyforassembly.com, and follow me on Facebook.
Hello, I'm Tom Lackey, your experienced conservative candidate for the State Assembly in the Tuesday, June 3rd election. As a retired Highway Patrol Sergeant and Antelope Valley resident since 1996, I served as a school board and city council member for 14 years. As your assembly representative, I'll stand up for our shared values. The record shows I work to solve problems, not create them. With your help on June 3rd, we can break the far-left supermajority in Sacramento and stop the bleeding of our jobs. I'm Tom Lackey, your experienced candidate.
There's a school in Palmdale that's become the talk of the town. It's called the Guidance Charter School, and many parents say it's magical. The Guidance Charter School is WASP accredited, scored 783 in academic performance, and has an educational curriculum that exceeds the state of California standards. The curriculum is enriched through age-appropriate exposure to information technology, arts, foreign language such as Arabic, and physical education. The Guidance Charter School has a winning CIF sports program with soccer, basketball, cross-country, volleyball, swimming, cheerleading, and more. An open enrollment, free tuition school, publicly funded. They've been in business for 12 years and are fully approved by the Palmdale School District. The Guidance Charter School has small classroom environment, 20 students in grades K through 3, 25 students in grades 4 through 8, and no more than 30 students in grades 9 through 12. Call the Guidance Charter School in Palmdale at 661-285-1600. That's the Guidance Charter School in Palmdale at 661-285-1600. And check out their website at thegcs.org. A better high school choice.
Antelope Valley residents, this is Assistant Sheriff James Helmold seeking your vote for sheriff. As a 25-year veteran of the department, I'm not a politician. I'm a crime fighter committed to keeping our neighborhood safe. I will ensure your sheriff's department is responsive to the Antelope Valley, not a one-size-fits-all approach from downtown Los Angeles. Let's also expand community involvement and youth outreach to ensure future success. I'm proud to be endorsed by both mayors and councils, local churches, and community groups. This is your sheriff's department. Please vote James Helmold for sheriff.
Hello, neighbors. This is Mayor Jim Ledford, and I'd like to tell you about Steve Knight. Steve has been our councilman and our legislator for the past 9 years. Steve has been a staunch supporter of lower taxes and creating a better environment for job growth. That is why Steve is endorsed by the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association. Please stand with me and Supervisor Mike Antonovich in supporting Steve Knight as our next congressman.
Frolic Beats.
Welcome back to AVNewsCast.com.
The number one news talk radio program in the Antelope Valley. Hey, I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show. The LA Kings won Game 7 yesterday.
Ah.
That means nothing to Angelino.
Is that hockey?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Good.
yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Ice soccer.
Yeah.
So they moved to the next round, and the next round is the Stanley Cup final.
I used to watch hockey. My son played it when he was a kid. We used to go to Kings games all the time.
You know, the Kings are doing well.
Good.
They're doing well. Very well. Did you see that Donald Sterling went to church yesterday?
Stop. What?
Yeah, went to church yesterday.
I thought he was Jewish.
Went to church yesterday in South Los Angeles.
Stop.
Okay. An African-American Baptist church. Walked in, and he got applause.
What?
He was very well received. Just throwing that out there. It's a true story. Okay?
On his way out,
true story.
Asked that none of them go to a Laker game.
No.
That's
okay,
so
as we know.
I mean, what was the purpose of that?
I don't know.
He just needs to go away.
He is in early stages of Alzheimer's.
Sure is.
He's not doing well. Okay? He's not
doing
well. So we all know that Saturday, American POW Sergeant Bo Bergdahl was released by the Taliban, and the United States made a deal. We said, we're going to give you these 5 guys, and you give us this 1 guy. Okay? This has become a social media area to talk and comment on.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are not happy about it.
Yeah.
No.
They don't think that America should have given in. Okay? That America has a policy. And we would never, ever do that.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence on this one.
Really?
Why?
And I'm going to say why, okay? Because I'm trying to, I saw a lot of the comments, and if it was my son, okay, and I can't have it 2 ways.
No, you can't.
All right? So I have to say, well, wait a minute. If I'm going to say, hey, don't ever negotiate this way, and then if it was my son, I would be saying goodbye to my son.
Right.
Now it's open season on kidnapping, though. Now it could be your son.
Well, it always could have been your son. And from what I understand, America's always done these kind of things. I mean, I thought that we didn't negotiate with terrorists. I thought that was a standing thing.
It is a policy.
It has
been a policy.
But from what I understand, it's been broken always. I mean, not constantly, but it's always, there's always been times that we've broken that.
I'm not up on that. So maybe you are.
Oh yeah, CNN mentioned it today. Said since the beginning, it's always been something that the president will do, and he won't involve Congress because Congress will drag or whatever. And Congress wants the president to put his neck on the line, and he'll do it. I mean, it's not the first time that America has negotiated with terrorists and has done something like this.
A lot of the people that served with Bo Bergdahl took to Twitter yesterday. Okay, guys that were in his platoon, and they didn't have nice things to say.
What they say?
They didn't have. They were calling him a deserter.
Who, the guy, Bo?
Yeah, because allegedly, as the story goes, he walked off base and he asked, "What would happen if I do this?" And he was told, "Don't take your rifle. Don't take any of your confidential stuff. Don't take any special stuff. Leave that all behind. If you're going to take a walk, don't do it." He sent an email to his dad.
Stop it.
And he told his dad, that he was very unhappy with what was happening in the Army. And his dad said, "You have to go with your conscience. Okay, you have to do what you feel is right." And
he took a walk.
He up and left. Okay, and was then captured. On Saturday when the exchange took place, and actually what happened was we sent a bunch of black ops over there.
Yeah.
All right. And they were all there, and there were a lot of Taliban that were all encircled around Bo, and all had their rifles out, and we had a bunch of drones in the sky.
Yeah, no, I heard that.
Monitoring the whole thing, and then after we got him, then we made the release of the 5 Taliban guys, but a lot of people say this shouldn't have happened. Okay. That it was wrong.
I didn't hear that the guys were Taliban. I just heard that they were detainees. They didn't say on CNN that
they were high-level people.
Yeah.
Were they?
Yeah,
Yes.
they were. Yeah, and they broke down, what their involvement was. But a lot of people were very upset.
Yeah, they would be upset until it was their kid.
And that's the tough part?
And that's the reality. People talk a great talk when it ain't their kid. Let it be your kid, then it's all bets are off. Let's just be real about it.
Now, somebody said something that, because we haven't been able to rescue this guy for 5 years.
Right.
Okay? It was impossible. Absolutely impossible. But a lot of our newer intelligence we haven't been getting, and a lot of people said, well, part of the objective was to get him back, okay, so that we can get some new intel into what's going on.
If he knows.
Well, he's got to know something.
He doesn't have to know anything.
Okay.
Speaking of not knowing anything, they say he can't speak English anymore. How do you, after 5 years,
he
forget to
speaks
speak
English?
His father. It's a little telling on the whole situation there. The father learned Pashto so he could talk to his son again.
What? Because his son was not allowed to speak English anymore?
I don't think he had anyone to speak English with.
Yeah, but the Proof of Life video that wasn't that old, he was speaking English.
No, that's the story now, that his English is wrecked.
Well, I'm sure he's wrecked. But you know what I thought of when they released him? I thought of, what's that show? Oh, God, I can't remember the name of the show. But it's very similar to a show that's on HBO, Homeland, where he was a POW. He was a prisoner for 5-10 years, whatever it was. And they, brainwashed him.
Yeah.
And then released him, and he ended up being, like a
sleeper.
A sleeper, yeah. So I was thinking, oh God, you got to watch this one. But because you never. This is a Taliban, and who knows what they did to this guy?
Well, we're going to find out now. Yeah. Now he goes through debriefing. He's going to get a chance, I think, today to see his folks.
Yeah.
And he'll be integrated back, but he goes through a process that takes days and weeks.
Yeah. What did you think about it, Jeff?
I don't like negotiating with them. It really bothers me because it just it's open season now. You know, you take your family, you save up for that trip to
Don't
Europe.
go there. You're nuts.
Europe?
You better go to some tropical island and act like you got some sense.
Oh, like the Philippines?
No. You go to the Caribbean. You go to Mexico. I mean, you don't. People, okay, play around if you want to. I mean, go to Fiji and stop playing.
But to be a strong country, you have to say, you know what, we don't negotiate with terrorists.
To be a father, you want your child back.
Okay.
To be a mother, you want your child back.
Okay. Now, when we have another POW, we have to do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I
so
get
now
that
we
it's
have
tough.
to do. Now this is going to happen. This is just our policy.
Either
hey, go get one
you
American.
negotiate or you get good intel and you go in and you get them like you got down on Bin Laden.
Yeah. Well, we in this case, and from what I've heard, we couldn't because he was held within a city. It was so heavily populated that too many people would have been.
Yeah, I learned that lesson.
Yeah, it would have been too difficult. I know we're out of time.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is an election.
Yes.
All right, everybody needs to get out and vote tomorrow, regardless of who you vote for.
Yeah.
Just get out and vote, okay? Do your civic duty. It's a responsibility to get out and vote. It really is, all right?
It is.
Just get out and vote. Thanks for listening to AV Newscast. Thanks for making us the #1 listened to news talk radio program in the Antelope Valley. Have a great day, and we'll be back tomorrow.